Let's talk about the United Football League, because spring football finally has a shot to survive, and there are two main reasons why it can work and why you should care, and I'll get to those in just a sec. And I'm not going to sit up here and bore you with the details about how this league came to be, other than what you need to know, because spring football has been the white whale of many people in the business of sports. You've had so many leagues try and fail, and it hasn't worked. And now the merger of the XFL and the USFL to form the UFL might just be our best shot at finally making it happen, because I actually love the idea of spring football, and honestly, I just haven't loved the execution of spring football because they've tried to stand on their own, which is why we don't buy in. And I'm speaking from experience here, because I played in the old version of the UFL, and not only did I win a championship with the 2010 Las Vegas Locomotives, I caught the last touchdown pass of the 2010 season in the championship game. The thing that I loved about the old UFL was that it was a hybrid of college and the NFL, so it made it a lot of fun because everybody that was involved, the league, the coaches, the players, and the fans in the stands were there because they love ball. It wasn't about money because nobody was getting life-changing contracts, even though there was money involved. And they were there because they had unrealized NFL dreams, or like me, after I got cut by the Giants because they wouldn't clear me because of my neck, I wanted to prove that I wasn't done and that I still had more game left. But in my case though, figuring out that I needed 2 Percocets and a Soma just to fall asleep at night let me know that the Giants were right, and my neck was not good enough to play pro football. But that's a whole nother story for another time. The thing that was refreshing and so much fun was you were around dudes that were locked in and understood the stakes, and the business of it was out. It was just ball. And with all the complaining about inflated NFL contracts and the changes brought by NIL in the college game, I'm honestly shocked that nobody did the spring football right before now, because this type of league can actually find a bigger audience. The reality is though, is that the UFL's best chance for survival is going to be find some way to make themselves useful to the juggernaut that devours everything in its path, the National Football League. Because if the NFL had an interest in the spring league, it probably would have started one itself. But since they haven't gotten around to do that yet, the UFL has a window to prove that not only can it be a viable spectator sport in a non-traditional season, the league also has time to find a way to entice the NFL to invest. Because there are 2 things that the UFL can do to make themselves useful. Number 1, be the minor league of the NFL. Get team scouts, film, access, emails about the players, like just blast it out and make sure that the league feels a part of it the way they want your players. Just like the G League in the NBA. Number 2, be a place where the NFL can test out rules about kickoffs, replays, sky judges, and anything else that it wants to. Because the NFL recently expanded practice squads, and what better place to grow and develop young players that you've drafted than loaning them out to the spring league. One thing that we know for certain is that players get missed in the draft process, because without arena football, there's no Kurt Warner. And the NFL used to have NFL Europe, which is the G League to the NBA. And a lot of good players have come out of the G League and been good NBA players, and the same can come from the UFL, because there's dudes that can play. Look at St. Louis Battlehawks wide receiver Ja'Cour Pearson. He might have had a chance with the Chiefs this year because they weren't running out great wide receivers. Or maybe Michael Joseph of the DC Defenders, who maybe could have helped out terrible pass rushes in 2023 like the Titans and the Raiders. But without the potential for the ultimate reward, a spot in the NFL, I'm not sure the stakes for a spring league will ever be high enough to drive NFL fans into a new routine of consuming football in April and May. That's why this league can work, is because having a place where NFL can develop their players. Think about how many times we heard this last season. Oh, there's a backup quarterback problem in the NFL. Send them down to the UFL and let them develop. But who knows? Maybe the expanding landscape of legalized sports betting can give the UFL the juice that it needs to get the NFL's attention. And maybe pitting the XFL conference against the USFL conference is going to create the type of conflict that sparks interest as well. And maybe being in markets like Birmingham, San Antonio, Memphis, and St. Louis will create some loyal fan bases that crave a professional football experience that their city can call their own.